Resilience, the ability to recover from or adjust easily to misfortune or change. Got to have it. It's going to happen. And man, we got to excel in it. The cracks of living life, playing in the NFL, fill them with gold, man.
It's time for another edition of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy, inside the Globe Life studio here at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones along with Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy, as it is playoff time. Super wild card weekend, Monday night game at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Coach, do you notice an extra pep in the step of your players as they got back to work this week?
Oh, no doubt, definitely. I think, we had a chance to get in on Monday and do the corrections, which was needed, but they came in Wednesday morning full of energy, and it's been a good work week.
Michael Parsons talking to the media on Thursday, talking about how anxious, how excited he is. He says legends are made in the playoffs. Do you get a sense, not only from Micah but your team, that okay, this is what you've worked all year for? It's go time now in the playoffs here.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think having experience of last year is helpful in the preparation phase of it. Just to know what to expect, and the importance of staying, on top of your process. And even in Micah's case, it's great to see him up there. He was up there early before the team meetings, up in the defensive office space, getting some extra time with Dan Quinn and the defensive coaches. So, yeah, you definitely can see everybody just want to make sure they have a clean week of preparation. I mean, actually, right as I was walking in here, Dak Prescott's still working out and spending time in the training area. So it's great to see the guys putting in all the extra time.
Speaking of legends, the quarterback on the other side, Tom Brady. What is it? What is the biggest challenge facing a quarterback like Brady?
Well, I just think he does such a great job of taking advantage of opportunities, and I think that's just why, we coming out of this preparation, we just got to be on top of, make sure that we, take care of our run fits, rally to the ball, get shots on the ball, but, particularly, in the pass coverage part of it, that's where obviously he's at his best, but, playing to your leverage, playing to your help, and then frankly, the situational football, and that's something that he has always excelled at, specifically the 2-minute drill and those types of things. So you just stay focused on that, and but at the end of the day, it's about your plan and how you play.
Brady set an NFL record this year, 733 pass attempts, and his targets on the outside. Mike Evans, his last game 2 weeks ago against Carolina, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Chris Godwin underneath, who can also go deep. They got some things to contend with on the outside, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. No, this is a group that's the perimeter, and we've played them obviously week 1, 2 years in a row. So just all the way across the board. I mean, I'm talking about the whole football team. This is a veteran football team with a lot of experience. But, yeah, I mean, Tom does an incredible job with ball distribution. You can see that in their numbers. And, they've had some injuries and some trials and tribulations throughout the season. But at the end of the day, it's playoffs. Everybody's 0-0. You're only guaranteed 4 quarters. And that's our approach. And we want to make sure we go in and max it out and get the win.
Speaking of injuries, you've gone through it on your side too at the cornerback position. Xavier Rhodes comes in, other veterans that have come in late in the season, Mackenzie Alexander, Trayvon Mullen, you got Nashawn Wright, you got Kelvin Joseph in the mixer. How do you feel like things are coming together as far as your cornerback position goes?
Oh, I love it. I think we're so fortunate to have those guys. I mean, to pick up those quality veterans this late in the game is very unique. So we're thrilled to have them here, number one. Number two, I think they're all, fitting in, and getting comfortable with how we play, how we operate, and how we can use them. So, how we get into the game and how they're utilized. But it's a true blessing to have those veterans.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of the Mike McCarthy Show. Up next, it's David Moore of the Morning News.
The Mike McCarthy Show, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas. The University of North Texas, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. And by Reliant, an NRG company.
Welcome back to the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. Inside the Globe Life studio, Bill Jones now joined by David Moore of the Dallas Morning News, SportsDayDFW.com. This is the time of the year that David points to all year. It doesn't matter how great or how poorly things have gone the rest of the year for not only you, but for this team.
Why'd you single me out?
Right now.
What are you funny about
go
me?
time for you, David Moore.
I've had some false starts here along the way, but I'm ready to go now. I'm fascinated with the Cowboys in the postseason because this franchise and organization has a long, rich, storied playoff history, which so often in recent years comes down like an anvil on their head when they get back in, because you have this, now you have talking about, part of the narrative is, well, Dallas is going to have to go on the road, and it hasn't won a road playoff game in 30 years. They're going to have to face Tom Brady. Tom Brady has never lost to this franchise. And all of these are legitimate narratives, and I understand fans talking about them, and we do in the media as well. But, you know, a team can only carry so much baggage. And I think it's reasonable to ask these Cowboys to carry the baggage they own, which is they lost to San Francisco last year in the first round, which is they're coming off a regular season finale that was not good. That's their baggage. The fact this franchise hadn't won in 30 years is not part of their baggage. The fact they're 0-7 against Tom Brady, 2 of those losses are on them, not the others. So I think you have to compartmentalize where this is.
All right, so what do you think the mindset of players are going up against a Tom Brady? I mean, at the end of last year's game in Tampa Bay, a narrow loss by the Cowboys, Dak Prescott told Tom Brady famously at the end of the game, we'll see you basically in the playoffs. He thought it was going to be last
And he was
year
right.
Yeah,
there was no expiration date on that. He was right.
It was this year. Did they get motivated facing a Tom Brady?
I believe the fact they faced him twice in the last year and a quarter, had a really good shot to win that game in Tampa Bay, where this game's going to be played. Did not, but had a shot, certainly a shot to win that game. The opener this year, they were out of sorts. You know, Dak Prescott isn't able to make it to the end of the game. I think they feel pretty good. They know what they need to do against Tampa Bay, having faced them twice. And I know a lot of people have a fatalistic attitude here, and it's Tom Brady, and of course he can win. And you look at his postseason record compared to most franchises in the postseason this year, and he blows them away. But who was the better team over the course of the regular season? That was Dallas. They won 12 games to 8 for Tampa Bay.
How easy is it for a team to flip the switch into the postseason, considering how poorly they played last week against Washington?
You actually do see that a lot in the first round, and it's more about, let's go back to the last game where the Cowboys really needed to make a statement. That was Philadelphia, in my mind. What happened in that game? How did they look then? Tennessee was the third game in 12 days, and then the Washington game was inexplicable, but it happened, and it's completely out of character or an outlier from what we've seen from this team all season long, which has not lost back-to-back games all season.
That's right. They've always bounced back after a loss. We'll see if it continues this week. David Moore, we appreciate it. The Mike McCarthy Show continues in a moment.
This segment is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Trusted by millions. Trusted by America's team.
Demarcus Lawrence, defensive end. Yeah, feel like it came full circle. You know, going through our trials and tribulations at the beginning of the season, and you know how this playoff picture is lined up for us now. I feel like it's a blessing in disguise, and it's up to us to, you know, accept the blessing and, you know, go after it. I feel like it just comes down to trust. You know, some guys haven't played with us yet and stuff, so it's just all about, you know, being able to trust the guy next to you that he's going to do his job so you can, you know, be comfortable in doing yours. And I feel like, you know, once we go out there and put that to display, more guys will be comfortable in their roles. When you have experience in the NFL, it's kind of hard to, put that trust into a rookie. But to see the work that these guys put in each day in and day out, it builds confidence in the team and the defensive guys around them to, allow them to be in to play with us. Different situations, we know he's going to get the ball out fast, but, it's up to us to keep our mentality straight and, continue to rush. Don't let those little quick passes slow us down. Continue to grind, continue to, get after them, and also, just play all 4 quarters. I mean, this game is for anybody to take, and whoever, wants it the most is going to come out with it. I really think facing a quarterback like Tom Brady brings out your inner GOAT. How good do you want to be? If you want to, be the best, you want to climb this mountain with the best, you're going to have to eventually beat the best. So, being able to play Tom Brady in the first round I feel like it's going to help us grow throughout this playoff run.
And welcome back to the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. I'm now joined by Will McClay. Let's break down these Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What better place to start, Will, than with the 45-year-old quarterback? And we start with his game a couple of weeks ago against Carolina when Tom Brady passed for 430 yards.
And you'll see why he got those 400-plus yards. We'll look at him here. He's seen everything. He's done everything. But now you talk about arm strength. Moves to safety. He sees the coverage rotate. Then he throws a deep strike to Mike Evans there for a big play. So you see the arm strength. Now on this play right here, now you're going to look at and we talk about how fast he gets rid of the ball. He doesn't take sacks. He gets rid of the ball, throws it to the checkdowns. Their receivers have over 100 catches his running backs over 100 catches on the season so far.
And then number 14, Chris Godwin, is a guy that he's a safety valve for him underneath, but he can also get down the field, obviously.
Yes. When you have Godwin here, what you've got is he's his Gronkowski, he's his Edelman, middle of the field guy that he trusts. You'll see him here. They're going to run a cover 2. Now he's going to see him leave the linebacker, but then the extended catch, trusting his hands, an instinctive route runner.
All right, then how about Todd Bowles' defense? And you start up front. They've got a lot of talent on this defense, but how about the 350-pounder Vita Vea?
You say he's a run stopper and the run game goes through him. You're going to see him here take on a double team and destroy that double team and make a play in the backfield. They get no movement. He makes a play in the backfield for a 2-yard gain.
You can see why it's tough to run against that team, but this guy can also get to the quarterback.
Yeah, he's 350 pounds. He's got 6.5 sacks. You find one-on-one matchups, he's going to overpower. You see him get the edge and a big sack there.
Hey, now one of the strengths of this defense, the linebacking core, you got Devin White, but Levante David has been there an awful long time.
Been there a long time, been doing it at a high level. What he is super instinctive, super fast. He can blitz, he can cover, but really what he does in the run game, you watch him here. He's going to read the pullers. He's going to beat the blocker at the point of attack. And he's going to have, you have a big tackle here for tackle for loss.
And just an idea on defense and on offense, why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in this position. Will, we appreciate it. And the coach rejoins us in just a moment here on the Mike McCarthy Show.
This segment was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Trusted by millions. Trusted by America's team. This segment is brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort, the casino of the Dallas Cowboys.
This is the first time that they loaded the box that we were gonna, pass it more, and we actually had a lot of favorable looks for the run, that first game, and we just didn't really stick to it. Just whatever looks they're gonna give us, we know our identity as a team. We know what we need to do as an offense to get going, and so we're just gonna have to, like I said, lock in on our execution, and it looks like we have a good plan, and play better ball.
Welcome back to the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. Bill Jones with the head coach as we take an up-close look now at this Tampa Bay defense. Todd Bowles, of course, the head coach. When you look at Bowles' defense, you talk about multiple fronts, multiple schemes, that sort of thing. It's a big challenge going up against it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He primarily stays in base and nickel, but he has all the pressure concepts out of it. It's quarters base, so it definitely the ability to play to the matchups. But yeah, it's the biggest thing is the volume. And when you look at Todd's defense over the course of a 6-week period or even the whole season, there's just a tremendous amount of scheme. So, just how you conceptualize that, break it down into buckets and get ready to go, and how you anticipate how they're going to play us. So that's the beauty of the game plan process, but it's a very challenging defense.
And as far as personnel in their front seven, of course, they got the linebackers and Devin White and Levante David, and Vita Vea is a handful up front.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Really, their defensive line. They got a tremendous amount of depth, but both the linebackers, I don't think they've missed a snap in the last 2 years. So. They just play at a very consistent level. It's a group that have played a lot of football together. So Minifield is another impact player. So it's a really good defense. It's playoff football, and we're gonna be challenged, and this will be a great opportunity for us.
Okay, your offense and where it is right now. You look at since Dak came back from his injury, and over a 9-game span, averaging 36 points a game, and ranked in the top 5 in scoring offense. And I know that the interceptions have been something that's been a big concern as you now go into the playoffs. How do you think things are coming together as far as the offense is concerned going into this one now?
Well, I'm just so enlightened here to hear all these positive statistics about our offense.
All you're hearing in the press conference is, what's wrong, huh?
Yeah, no doubt. And they want to talk about one stat, but yeah, it's we've been extremely productive on offense. I think our numbers speak for themselves, even over the course of the year, even on top of with Cooper and with Dak. So, and the reality of it is, it's playoff football. They're a playoff team. They're a playoff defense. We know what we need to do. We've had some changes in our offensive line, but I feel like we've had a chance to get healthy here for this contest, and this will be exciting.
Seems like a long time ago, the season opener against Tampa Bay. And
Boy, doesn't it?
And you think about Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith starting his first NFL game against Tampa Bay back early September. Didn't know he was going to be playing left tackle until a week or so before that opener. How far has he come along in his first year?
Just as you go through the cut-ups, and particularly I started watching Tampa Bay last week, and I started with our game, and to watch Tyler play in his first game, and now to see him play now, it's night and day. So, yeah, I think our team's evolved we've evolved greatly since week 1. So,
all right, we continue. The Mike McCarthy Show. Wrap things up in just a moment.
This segment was brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort, the casino of the Dallas Cowboys.
Come out to Miller Lighthouse at AT&T Stadium for a free wild card watch party on Monday. Cheer on the Cowboys alongside Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and rowdy while enjoying lawn games, food trucks, music, and more. Gates open at 5:30. Kickoff is at 7:15. For more info, visit DallasCowboys.com/2022 playoffs. Final couple of minutes here of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. And Coach, this is when I come up with an unsung star. And I'm going with some unsung stars that, when you look at pointing towards the start of the postseason, there are so many injuries across the league. And you look at these two teams. You got both sides, both Tampa Bay and yourself, whether it's guys that are veteran guys have been nicked up throughout the year. I'm going with your athletic training staff, Jim Maurer, Britt Brown, and what they have done this season to get these guys ready to where they're ready to produce in week 1 of the playoffs.
Oh, definitely. Britt, Jim, and Hanson and Greg, they do a tremendous job, and Joe and Sam, the whole crew down there. You just can't say enough. I think really, when you look at training staffs throughout this league, and definitely ours is elite, is the relationship they have with the players and their ability to get what they need, both internally and externally, the relationships and the outsourcing that's available, and just to manage that whole thing and make sure our guys are getting exactly what they need week in and week out. It's super impressive.
And for you to know for sure that, okay, this guy is healthy enough, he can play, and so it's a relationship with the coaching staff too.
Britt Brown, the return to play process is excellent, and and the connection he has with the guys, and going through that, and so like I said, our guys do a tremendous job.
All right, good luck in Tampa on Monday night. We appreciate all of you joining us here on the Mike McCarthy Show, and we will see you again next week.
The Mike McCarthy Show, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Trusted by millions, trusted by America's team. Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.